Making their way to the ring, talking about the world of professional wrestling, the team of Jeff Martin and the trendsetter Bryan Burga, the Jersey Wrecking Crew.
What is going on, guys? How are you? We are the Jersey Wrecking Crew. We're back here for your SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver preview. I am Jeff Moore alongside the trendsetter Bryan Burga. We are back. We are headed to Vegas this week. It is the week, SummerSlam Weekend. You excited, trendsetter? I am super excited. Had a great birthday weekend. I still have the tag from the beach. That's how much fun I had.
Just
Trendsetter,
shows out how sentimental of a guy you are, Jeff.
I am, man. You only turn 40 once, right?
Yes, hopefully. Only
How
one
are you,
time.
man? You excited? We're on the way to Las Vegas. Just think of that nice plane ride, 5.5 hours. Nice little ginger ale we'll toast to. But
Yeah, with the guy who's sitting in the middle of us, obviously, basically. The guy or
Yeah.
girl sitting in the middle of us. But no, I'm excited, dude. It's a little surreal because I won't believe it till we're actually there. You know me, I'm very cynical, so I'm like, okay, so many things have to be planned out. Now, I wish I had Jeff's brain, honestly.
No, you don't.
Well, sometimes I do. You know why? Because you're looking at the trip of us actually being there. I'm already thinking about the process of waking up, getting to the airport on time, making sure we're on the flight. We have enough time to get to the jetway, then make sure we don't have to check our bags. I mean, dreading the flight, and then getting the rental car, and finding an area to buy supplies. So I'm always stressed. So that's why I have so many whites in my beard.
I tried to do some pre-shopping. So you got the suntan lotion. You got some hand
we don't have any
wipes.
water, though. That's a problem. It's like we're going to the beach, but it's a desert, though.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
it.
well, they have water there in Vegas, I think, now. I think breaking news, they sell water in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for $13.
They do.
Yeah.
That's no joke, man. That's no joke. SummerSlam is upon us. It happens tomorrow night, trendsetter. We will be there in Las Vegas again. Excited for the trip. Follow us on all our social media at High Spot Podcast. Follow us on all podcast platforms. You see it right there. You have Apple Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play. But again, everywhere that you listen to your podcast, you can listen to us, HSP. And definitely, we had a great show last week with Andrew Zarian. Man, I'm telling you, since that episode, it has been like a shit show, dude. We have been going in so many different directions, brother. And I'm telling you, man, I guess I need this trip. But we're going to be busy there, right?
Yeah, so you like to think it's a vacation, but it's not. It's business. You like to enjoy yourself a little bit too, but once we land, it's about preparing for SummerSlam weekend and what's the bill. And it's a little weird too because I'm so used to. I'm sure a lot of people share the same scenario, right? That it's supposed to be on a Sunday. Being on a Saturday is
Yeah.
kind of throw everyone off because once Saturday's over, Sunday's like okay, everybody's probably heading home, and what do you do? So it's kind of a weird feeling, but
Well, you
definitely
got-
looking forward to the fact of what's it going to be like with that arena filled with people.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Of course, masks are mandated indoors at Allegiant Stadium. So we went there, and the stadium wasn't built yet. So now it's built. It's a beautiful stadium. So looking forward to checking it out. We got the pool party coming up on Friday. Today it is Matt Man Podcast will be hosting at the Sapphire Pool from 2 to 4 p.m. So definitely check them out. We'll be there supporting them. So hopefully, we'll see them. They're busy guys too as well. But let's get down to it, man. SummerSlam tomorrow night, Saturday, like you mentioned. You got TakeOver on Sunday. But SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer for WWE. You got Roman Reigns, Lashley. Everyone is going to be there. Your thoughts, the anticipation. You looking forward to this event?
Oh, can I be honest? Yes and no. Yes, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it because it's going to be exciting because it's going to have another sense of normalcy because they've built up SummerSlam for the last couple of years prior to the pandemic of it being a really big show full of surprises. It wasn't like that, let's say 5 or 6 years ago. So they're doing a really good job now. Building up to anticipation for this one. Granted, masks are going to be mandated, but there's still going to be people in that arena. It's going to be a different feel. People are going to be excited to have one of the biggest events, kind of like the original four. You had SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. This is the event that if you're going to miss anything, you want to be a part of this summer's event, and they never really disappoint. But what I'm not looking forward to is that, you and I have looked at it. This card really We talked to even Andrew about it as well to a certain extent, though. I'm not excited about this card. You have some nostalgia in there, but like
too much nostalgia, probably,
too much nostalgia, and a lot of people have been left out. I feel that, granted, people like, oh, there wasn't enough time. They had ample time to include certain people in this too. So yes, looking forward to the event, looking forward to the festivities, but also I can't say that I am feeling the same way about this match card.
So I'm not going to gripe that much because by the time we put this out, SmackDown will air, and so you don't know if guys like Finn Balor, Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, whether they'll be part of the card. So we won't really get too heated on it. We will maybe on our post show for SummerSlam. We'll talk about that. But let's get started, Trendsetter, with Roman Reigns and John Cena. That is the one where, let's be honest, the whole SummerSlam revolves around this card. You're either Team Cena or Team Roman. I'm going to go right here and tell you I'm all Team Roman because this is his show. This is just his coronation as the tribal chief, the head of the table. This, to me, will cement him without a shadow of a doubt that the best wrestler of 2021. We already talked about it numerous times, him beating Daniel Bryan and Edge simultaneously there, pinning them both men. I think that really cemented his spot where he is in his career. But a win over John Cena will really go a long way heading into the fall, into the winter, and heading into the Royal Rumble and Mania, because now with rumors of The Rock possibly making an appearance at the Survivor Series in Brooklyn in November, it's all lined up for Roman Reigns for him to have one of the biggest years any superstar has ever had. And you have to go as far as dominance. You're going to have to go back to Brock Lesnar, Trendsetter. So I'm going to be Team Roman on this one. But again, SummerSlam, it all revolves around this matchup. They've let you know, and they let you know that this is going to be the match. This is why we're all going to be there in Vegas. What are you, Trendsetter, Team Cena or Team Reigns?
I will never be Team Cena ever. So I have to be somewhat Team Reigns because it's kind of a catch.
Or Team Roman. I'm sorry, Team Roman.
Team Roman, Team Reigns, same thing really, because you're rooting for the same guy here. I think it's so important right now to continue that momentum for Roman Reigns. The dominance he's been showing, the moment he had, if we want to be marks here in a sense, right? Talk about the WrestleMania moments and carry that way the WWE kind of promotes it. He had his moment at WrestleMania by defeating a Hall of Famer, another potential Hall of Famer, and Daniel Bryan, and dominating them, pinning them both at the same time. So you would think it's all designed for Roman Reigns now to continue that momentum. But here's my thing. As much as I think that's going to happen, and who knows, maybe he'll throw us a curveball. I don't think that will be the case. But here's the thing. He's dominating guys, which he's already done. Granted, he's faced Brock Lesnar several times. He's already defeated John Cena before, though nobody wants to talk about it and take it away from our collective memory. So that's going to happen. And then The Rock, another legend, another Hall of Famer down the road. But my thing is, okay, once you're done with John Cena and The Rock, what is there? I know I'm being cynical here, and that's not part of SummerSlam, but I'm still trying to think ahead of this. But there's no doubt Roman Reigns will be victorious in this one. He's going to smash. He's going to bash. And I don't think it's the last we'll see of John Cena, but it's definitely giving Roman more of that push in terms of him being the face of WWE.
Could we see John Cena show up on Monday night and maybe be like, or not even Monday night, maybe a humble John Cena? Then he shows up on SmackDown and he congratulates Roman Reigns for beating him. You could see that, a humble John Cena maybe trying to shake the Tribal Chief's hand. Maybe we get another rematch, but that's down the road. Yeah. I really agree with you as far as what's going to happen on Saturday night as far as this. Do you think that the hype has been good? We saw that last meeting where, they talked about, Nikki Bella, where they, got all personal. And you got the 1, 2, 3 from John Cena.
He got that over.
You really made a reference to John Cena defeating Roman Reigns on the mic again. So before that, though, did you think that the hype was pretty good for this matchup? I personally don't think so, because you didn't see Cena on SmackDown. He was doing dark matches. He was hyping up the gate, the crowd.
Yeah.
So you didn't see Cena, but you did see Roman Reigns. Do you think before their encounter last Friday night that the hype, that the build was as good as they could possibly have done?
Definitely. You know why? Because John Cena does an amazing job of drawing people into the audience. I mean, say what you want to say about his wrestling ability and what he does as a performer, but he can put asses in the seats. That's what he's done so well. As a polarizing figure as he is, he has that ability of drawing you in and keeping you emotionally invested, regardless of what the rivalry is, regardless of we know what's going to happen. He's going to Super Cena and all things like that. But what really appeals to me about John Cena is that he brought an amazing point that I don't know if a lot of people are talking about, because it's easy to say that, of course, John Cena will destroy Roman Reigns, mic to mic, and there's not even a contest. Even Roman alluded to it during his one-on-one with John Cena. But he said, Roman, you're protected. And that's very true. He has been protected. Prior to John Cena and Roman Reigns facing off, we look back way back then when, John Cena made the famous comments, I'm still here because you can't do your job. Wow, what an amazing comment. But then you're protected, meaning that prior to this, Roman Reigns would see what John Cena would say and then reply back, and then wait to see what John Cena replied back and reply back. So it's easier to do that as opposed to reacting to somebody face to face when they're throwing shots at you and they're going for the knockout and you're just throwing jabs. So I think that showcased that Roman is still not quite there yet. I don't think he needs to be there, but when he goes one-on-one with a guy like John Cena, and eventually down the road, we're assuming The Rock, he's got to still carry his own, because still that's one part of his game that's obviously missing with veterans and people who had more experience than him, like John Cena and possibly The Rock, are going to expose that and make him look pretty ridiculous if you do.
I'm going to be really interested to see what kind of match it is, too, because, of course, we had the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match from a while ago at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It was just thorough domination. It was a beatdown from Brock Lesnar to John Cena. John Cena even mentioned that he built Suplex City, right? He took, 16 plus, suplexes that night. Is it something similar to that we're going to see? Is John Cena going to be competitive? I think people want to see Cena put up some kind of battle against Roman Reigns, right?
See, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to have something similar, not exactly similar to what Brock Lesnar did to John Cena. I mean, John Cena even said it himself too, right? And he's so good at foreshadowing stuff. I'm just going to hang in there. You're going to kick my ass. And that's, I think, what we're going to see. I mean, would it be kind of awkward, the fact that John Cena has been away for so long, Jeff, and I'll ask you this, for him to come back and be Super Cena again? Wouldn't that devalue a little bit of what Roman Reigns has done from this point on, to have somebody like John Cena, who's been away for so long, come back and have so much offense behind him? I think it's only right that Roman Reigns dominates this match and you see John Cena just barely hang on.
Yeah, he's been away for a while, so kind of if he put in a more than dominant performance, it just wouldn't make sense because of the way Roman Reigns, he's been there as the champion for the longest time. 600 plus days without taking a pin for Roman Reigns. So I find it hard to believe that John Cena, coming back from Hollywood, coming back from shooting all those movies, would just beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So moving to the next few couple of days, though, it's going to be interesting what kind of John Cena you see, whether you see a humbled Cena, where you think Cena maybe is like, I was this close to beating you, maybe. So that's going to be interesting to see how they book John Cena afterwards and see if he does stay a little bit longer. But again, it revolves around this match. SummerSlam is built around this match, and it's built around, like you were talking about, nostalgia matches as well, with Goldberg against Bobby Lashley. Goldberg seems to be, put in this pedestal by WWE, whether they like it or not. He just seems to be in these kind of situations, and with Bobby Lashley, we'll see what happens. But I want to tell you the match that I'm looking forward to the most, and that is going to be, and before I start with that, it's a matchup that I don't think it's gotten the right hype, which is hard to believe, but it's Edge and Seth Rollins, and they will go head to head Saturday night in Las Vegas. This is a dream match. This is why Edge is back, right? So we can get matches like this against Seth Rollins. I am looking forward to this match. This match, to me, is going to be the match of the night between these two. But the hype has kind of not been as much as I wanted it to be. Now, will it deliver? I think so. I think it will deliver. I'm going to call it right now. It's going to be the match of the night. But out of all the matches that you're looking forward to, Trendsetter, this one has got to be right up there for you, right?
It's a match I'm looking forward to in terms of what's going to happen. These two working in the ring together and, developing, initial chemistry of never really working together. So from a skill standpoint, it's storytelling standpoint in the ring, I'm looking forward to this match. I'll tell you what, though, I'm not looking forward to the match, and you alluded to it, the way it's been hyped up. Now, you can blame creative, you can say the way they were going direction-wise, but I'll tell you what the main thing has deterred me from this rivalry completely. And it's one person's name, Seth Rollins himself, has deterred me from, yes, he's deterred me from this rivalry. You know why? Because some people like it, and again, nothing against Seth. He is doing something completely different. Though. That laugh is so annoying. Even that laugh gets over. That's actually pretty good.
Love it.
But this character, I don't understand it. I know I'm not supposed to understand where Seth Rollins is coming from, but if we have the Seth Rollins of, let's say, the time where he turned his back on the Shield, trying to prove himself, the Seth Rollins, even, the burn it down type of Seth Rollins, when he came back from, hurting his knee, I could get that storyline because there's history behind it. And again, WWE refuses to allude the fact that there was a scenario when Seth Rollins was part of the Authority.
They did a little bit, though. They did a little bit.
But they never really fully came full circle to it because, at that point, Edge was not an active wrestler. Any bump or any slight movement could really risk him to have paralysis. So why couldn't you build off of that? Yeah. This whole Edge light thing, and this, and him feeling that Edge is stealing his spotlight. I'm like, come on, I've seen this story before, but Seth's character is as annoying as it is, and as much heat as it gets, which is what it's designed to do, and I get it. I'm not invested in it, nor do I care about it. And I think, honestly, as much as I'm looking forward to the in-ring action between Edge and Seth Rollins, because that'll be interesting, and that's something that does appeal to me. Storyline-wise, I really hope this is a one and done. I don't think it will be, obviously. In terms of, Edge doesn't have many more left. And if he wants to be creative and work with good talent, Seth is definitely a good talent. But from storyline standpoint, it's just a snooze fest for me.
Yeah, you see, here's the thing. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, who does it benefit for them to come out victorious? And I'm thinking, well, Seth Rollins.
You would think it's Seth Rollins, right?
Seth Rollins kind of, gave Cesaro like that push at Mania, right? And how good did that go? Because right now Cesaro is back to where he was. So to me, I thought that was like kind of like a wasted loss there for Seth at WrestleMania.
But it didn't hurt him though.
Good, no, it doesn't hurt him. But Seth. I'm saying, like, you'd like to think that these losses that Seth does is to build somebody. Edge already has a resume; it doesn't hurt him to lose. But again, then where does Edge go? What happens to Edge? That he's coming off of losses to Roman, coming off a loss to Seth. I'm going to go here with Edge to get the victory over Seth Rollins because possibly they could, like you said, fight again. It may not be one and done, and it could be a future program heading down towards, the fall and heading into WrestleMania season. So I really think I'm going to go not on a ledge here, but just say here that Edge will come out victorious over Seth Rollins, and they can build into possibly another rematch down the road. So I'm going to go Edge. It's going to be interesting. I think these guys will deliver. I think it's in them to do so. I think that the Roman Reigns match against Edge was really good the last time they fought. So who does it matter more to? I don't know. I'm going to go with Edge. I see Edge taking the victory here at SummerSlam.
I got Seth on this one, though.
Okay. But that's good. Good we disagree then.
But honestly, besides the in-ring work, real quick, are you invested emotionally into the storyline?
No, because I don't think they hyped it up the way they should have. Yeah. I mean, the videos back and forth. I know you can't have, you have certain appearances Edge can make, so you really can't get that much of an encounter. But I guess the idea here is that, hey, they don't touch till SummerSlam. But it could all change on Friday night. We could get a confrontation between the two. Who knows? But as far as the match on alone, I'm going to be intrigued. So they might not have hyped it up as well. But on the match itself, when you see Edge and Seth Rollins, you're going to be intrigued. You're going to want to see it. And I think that this will be the match of the night at SummerSlam.
Yeah, on paper, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, so what we'll do is here we're gonna probably put the other matches on our social media and predictions. I'll get the Trendsetters picks here. I'll give out my picks for the rest of the matches. We'll probably do one more here and take a look at it. And any other match intrigues you. We do have to say, though, PW Insider has reported that so far that the Bianca Belair match versus Sasha Banks, that rematch from WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship, is a go. unless there's some unforeseen situation there, it looks like it's going to happen. So this is the rematch, trendsetter, from WrestleMania. Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. This is, again, a dream rematch, I would say. So luckily that's going to take place, because usually they have kind of like matches at house shows to see how the chemistry is going to be like. They weren't able to do so. But is that something that worries you, trendsetter, when you're two people, you're trying to get, you haven't really wrestled since WrestleMania, you're trying to get that chemistry going? Is that something that you could see any rust there come SummerSlam?
I think there'll definitely be rust, but here's the difference, though. When you saw Bianca and Sasha Banks face at WrestleMania, it's the first time they ever faced each other.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did some work maybe in the Performance Center. There were no road house shows during that time anyway, nor there are now leading towards SummerSlam.
Well, there are house shows
Yeah, but not as many in terms of getting a feel of what the crowd is. You're right. There are house shows, but not the same capacity of once we once saw it. They're slowly coming back to it. But prior to WrestleMania, there was nothing there. So I think they've already proven they have chemistry with each other. Now the biggest pressure will be on Bianca Belair more than Sasha Banks. Can you top what you did? And I don't think it's really the mindset of an athlete or a performer to try to top what you did, but you want to be a little bit different than how you approached it the first time you guys faced each other. So that's the intriguing thing. That's what draws you. Storyline wise, again, it's easy for me to say that these storylines leading to WrestleMania, leading to SummerSlam, have not been the best storylines. But on paper, when you look at Roman Reigns, John Cena, cool, and John Cena and Roman Reigns have done an amazing job of making this personal. So there's the exception to the rule. Bianca Belair, Sasha, kind of they're continuing from what they did at WrestleMania, so nothing different there. Seth Rollins and Edge we just talked about. A lot of these matches here just seem to be placed in there, and hey, it's wow, John Cena, this Goldberg, Bobby Lashley, cool, a little nostalgia here. So that's the feeling I'm getting for Bianca and Sasha. If it doesn't happen, which it's still a possibility, right? We're only a couple of days away from it. That would be a disappointment, but I think that's the one. Second to Roman Reigns and John Cena, I feel like a lot of people are looking forward to seeing this match.
All right, trendsetter. So SummerSlam, be on the lookout for our other picks as well, too. A lot of other matches. You got the tag team titles for Raw.
Oh, by the way, I got Bianca going over to me.
You got Bianca? Yeah. I got Bianca. There's no reason right now to take the belt off of Sasha Banks, to take the belt off of Bianca Belair. I think that she's done a pretty good job. I think that she's done these interviews. I think she's in the spotlight. I think that she hasn't done anything to have the title be taken off of her. So I think that Bianca Belair is going to retain as well. But
how funny for a person that Vince really didn't kind of like and really had nothing for when she showed up on Raw.
Well,
and now she's the women's champion on SmackDown. So, hey.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I think she's done a tremendous job. I think
because we saw her potential in NXT, right? You saw it. You're like, wow.
Except Sam Roberts didn't think she'd ever win a big one.
Well, who cares about Sam Roberts?
But though definitely she has done a lot to get mainstream. You saw her on, for example, during the Olympics. Obviously, she's an athlete as well. She's been on those. She's been at those music events too that they've kind of cross promoted between music, hip hop, and WWE. So I think that she's done a lot of stuff mainstream that the WWE likes. She has.
She was at the ESPYs, right? She was at the ESPYs.
Yeah, so they were repping there. They won the match, the best match of the year, I guess, as far as ESPYs was concerned, between Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. So I think this has got a lot of people curious, interested in this matchup. So we'll see what happens there. But I got Bianca Belair. We both agree on that. So again, we will have our picks available to you guys before SummerSlam that night. So it's going to be a tremendous night. Again, Goldberg, Lashley, all these other events, and you can follow us on the post show as well. We'll have something for you guys there. Go to youtube.com/highspot podcast. Subscribe to the show. You can check out this episode available Friday today, and definitely check us out on
Listen
IG
to
Live
it right now. You're watching it.
Definitely check us out on IG Live as well too, at High Spot Podcast, on Twitter at High Spot Podcast as well. So you got Sunday, which is going to be a big day for a lot of reasons. You got TakeOver 36. It's going to be a very good card. But the main question, of course, besides Adam Cole, is can Samoa Joe defeat Karrion Kross? Can he get the job done? We saw this week, we saw the confrontation between the two. It's getting very heated. And before anything, I'm looking forward to Triple H's address, his media call. because I'm pretty sure the first thing they're going to be asking him
I wonder what they could be asking.
Is not going to be carrying Kross Samoa Joe. As much as he wants to turn all the attention on this takeover, it's going to be about the future of NXT. So many things in the works. Of course, we talked about the releases of Andrew Zarian. We talked about it here ourselves on the show. What is the future of NXT? We'll find out probably next week, as there's rumors that they're going to start taping shows again, so they're not going to go live.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be very interesting. Going to be really very interesting. But
Writing's
now
on the wall.
but it used to be taped, and we get the spoilers and we watch and we enjoy, So if they want to go back to that,
yes, it's taped, Jeff, but it's not what the network wants. They don't want taped shows. No. They're paying for live shows, so. Yeah. So I mean, that's writing on the wall for me. So that's the relationship.
So that's going to be stuff we're probably going to talk about next week. Probably Adam Cole's future as well. We'll find out pretty shortly, I would have to believe. But getting back to Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe, hey, this matchup to me is really one that I'm looking forward to. And I really think at the end of the day, Karrion Kross is on his way out. Would it do him any favors by losing to Samoa Joe? What is the future of Samoa Joe? Is that somebody that they want to be the face of NXT now that Vince McMahon kind of cleaned house with everybody else? Is he the guy to carry that NXT championship to the future of NXT? They got a little bit of a problem on their hands here, because I don't think it's right to take the title off of Karrion Kross if Samoa Joe is not your future. So there's a lot of questions about this matchup right here, because if Samoa Joe wins, you're kind of saying, hey, this is kind of be the future face of NXT, which is anti what Vince and company want to do. TikTok?
If my watch is correct, Karrion Kross, your time as NXT champion is running out.
Oh, I love it.
So it's actually working against you now, Karrion, because you know what's going to happen is Joe's going to kill you. Yes, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There. It's what we're looking forward to. You brought up a great point, Jeff, in terms of the future of NXT, right? And that was part of what happened before the altercation between Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross, for that big brawl. Karrion Kross said, this is for the future of NXT. It's very easy to say that Karrion Kross is the future of NXT or could be the future of NXT, but let's look at it from this perspective, right? Karrion Kross has already shown himself on the main roster. I feel that's a direction that WWE wants to take him. So it's only rightfully to think and assume at this point that that's what's going to happen. Karrion Kross will be doing whatever each champion does when they move over to the main roster. They will drop the title and they'll drop it to Samoa Joe, who is established. Now, you said too, is Samoa Joe the future? No, he's not the future of NXT. But what he is he is a pillar. He is a staple of what NXT is known for. Now, he wasn't there for that long, but his impact was definitely known of NXT and the quality that he presented. There. Yes, well, pun is intended here. And so I think that's what you need, because we talked about it with Andrew before, right? The direction and the foundation of what NXT is or was before and what's going to be in the future, it's kind of unstable, and we don't know what's going to happen. So what can you depend on? Are you going to put on somebody who, again, is somebody who hasn't really done anything and put talent in him? Or are you going to put on somebody, a veteran, that can carry that for a short period of time until the next star is found? I think Samoa Joe knows that's what his place is going to be. I think he fills it in very well for the short term. And then, obviously, once the conference call is done with Triple H and we find out or have an idea, I'm sure they already know, but he's not going to reveal it during the conference call. We're going to find out very soon, I feel, after TakeOver is over, what the direction the future of NXT is going to be and what direction they plan on going with the NXT Championship. So for that reason, I say Samoa Joe will win the championship. Again, I think this will be the second time he's won it.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I watched NXT. No insult there, but it's been a while. So I think he'll be a two-time champion there, and will be that staple and pillar for NXT as Karrion Kross moves over and continues his career on the main roster. But the biggest question really is, Jeff, not is Karrion Kross going to lose or Samoa Joe going to win, but is Scarlett going to show up? This is what people care about. Is Scarlett going to be there?
Yo, they were saying, they were yelling out for Scarlett.
They were.
They were like, we want Scarlett. Where is Scarlett? I think. Yeah, where is she, man? Like, what is going on with that? Like,
Unless they plan on separating her and having her now as an independent, like, female competitor.
It makes no sense though. Like
Yeah.
I get it that they're going to separate.
Look what we're
them
talking
on
about,
Raw.
Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about WWE NXT. Of course, it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense, but
it's like when they separated Lana and Rusev. Yeah. Now look at Miro. He's doing great on his own, but when you separate those two,
his hot wife will be back.
Yeah, eventually. There's no doubt she'll be in AEW, or maybe not. Who knows? Miro doesn't really need her in a sense. I feel. I think it only hurt him to bring her there. But
God's favorite champion, kicking ass on AEW.
Exactly.
We're gonna get to AEW in just a few minutes here because I really have a point here after watching it this past week. Really something that probably it's nothing new, but something that I really felt it on this week's show. But in wrapping up the Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe trendsetter, I'm going to go with Karrion Kross.
Okay.
I just for some reason think that he's going to be part of the passing of the kind of you said Samoa Joe is a pillar. I think Karrion Kross could be a pillar here, and I could see a lot of people being the future of NXT. First and foremost, I think Austin Theory would be a great choice to be the future of that brand, the face, and then eventually have a future with the main roster. I think Adam Cole, we'll get to that in a few minutes, and we'll find out what his future is. But I just, for some reason, just see Karrion Kross, just because it would be the final slap to Triple H's face, knowing that this is the guy that he brought back after WWE fired him, let him go. Triple H called them, told them come over to the NXT brand, and then for NXT not to have Samoa Joe walk out as the champion, that night would be the final insult to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So I'm going to go Karrion Kross with the victory over Samoa Joe because it is vital to the future, as Karrion Kross stated in his promo. So we'll find out, but it's going to be a very hard-hitting matchup. Looking forward to that as well. And then trendsetter, the undisputed finale between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby. This Sunday night, looking forward to it. Trendsetter, what is the future of Adam Cole? We're tied 1-1 in this feud, in this series. And the thing is, though, what's outshining this, or what's out, just really something that they're talking about that's kind of overshadowing this, is, of course, Adam Cole's future. What is going to happen with Adam Cole once that clock strikes 12:01 the next day after TakeOver? We know that he signed up until then, but what is his future? He's going to go to AEW. He's going to return. Has there been some light shed on his future? Kind of really nothing so far. It's been hush-hush, but I think it's been that way because I strongly believe that Adam Cole is going to come back. I think it's part of the work here, where you want that questioning, like, is Adam Cole going to win? How can he possibly win here? Kyle O'Reilly is going to win here because he's signed, right? Adam Cole, you can't have him win and then not show up. That's what they want to do. They want you to talk about this. They want you to question who is going to win this matchup. And at the end of the day, Kyle O'Reilly could possibly beat Adam Cole, but I'm going to say that Adam Cole wins this one because I think he's coming back. Whether he stays in NXT for a little bit longer, I think he has main roster in the future for him as well. But I'm going to go Adam Cole. It's going to be very surprising, but I think that once it goes to the third fall, which it will, the steel cage, I think that's when Adam Cole will defeat Kyle O'Reilly. I just have a feeling that Adam Cole is already destined to re-sign with WWE. Here we go.
Just end it already.
Well, my monologue?
No, not the monologue. The whole Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, man. It's been exhausting. It's been an exhausting rivalry.
Have you seen the videos? The videos have been outstanding.
Oh yeah, you love the packages they put for these videos. I mean, Jeff, you could put it right up there with Johnny Gargano and Ciampa in terms of the length of that rivalry lasted too. I think this is even right there has surpassed it to a certain point. The thing is, you brought it up. What unfortunately ruins the experience for me to a certain degree, I mean, not completely because I'm still going to enjoy the match, right? But what ruins is the fact that all this talk is now about Adam Cole resigning. It should be about what Adam Cole, what my interpretation is, what he's trying to do with his friend. He's trying to give him his moment. Because Adam Cole has proven that, in terms of NXT, he has been the man for a long period of time in NXT. So now it's him kind of showcasing Kyle this is your moment. You're going to be the one to end this rivalry in the worst stage possible in terms of what they've put each other through, not only
Capital
physically
Center.
but emotionally. It's going to be great, but it gets overshadowed because then people are questioning, like you and I have talked about. We talked about it with Andrew. We've been talking about it since the story first developed. Where is Adam Cole going to resign? He's going to go to AEW. He's going to be there with his girlfriend Britt Baker. What is he going to do? And I'm still going to stay strong on my point where I think he's going to resign, but I don't think that's the best move for him because I don't see him achieving anything more in NXT.
Yeah.
And in terms of what they supposedly in the meetings that went really well with Vince, what they plan on having him do on the main roster, I don't think it's going to work out because it's not the first time WWE has made promises to talent saying, "Oh, we're going to do this and this with you, and we're looking forward to doing this," and it never lives up to its fruition. And I think that's what's going to happen to Adam Cole. I think he would benefit going back to, it's not go back to Ring of Honor, but, to go to Impact and go to AEW at this stage of his career, because ultimately for him at this stage in his career to want to be a main eventer, very admirable of him wanting that. But I think right now he's going to find himself stuck in the middle for the rest of his career, especially if he stays in WWE.
Yeah, well, hey, is it a good idea to resign? That's for another show. Right now, we're
Financially,
asking,
I guess.
Right now, we're asking the question: will he sign? Right. So
I say yes. He will.
I think he will be back with the WWE. Now, you're right. He did resign short term for Kyle O'Reilly, right, to give him his due. But I just think that part of the re-signing will lead to a victory over Kyle O'Reilly. Again, the future of Adam Cole, what he decides to do, whether it's going to be on the main roster or not, again, that'll be for definitely a show down the road in the very near future, because we're going to find out soon. We are mostly going to find out soon because that contract is over, and we'll see if he's going to be part of WWE's future plans. But again, very interesting though, as that is a main focal point in this matchup, because both of these guys have really, hurt each other. It's gotten physical. You're going to get 2 out of 3 falls here.
These guys are friends.
Yeah, you're going to
like each other, actually.
I know. Imagine what kind of matches we could have then. I know. Great, right? Crazy battles. If I didn't have this bum shoulder, you'd go down there at Trendsetter. But
go down. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You'd go down if we were to do 2 out of 3 pinfalls.
Oh, okay.
My
You
bum
beat
shoulder.
Me.
Yeah.
Got you. To go down. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, that's wait till the pool party.
All right, I'm staying away from you, man. Keeping my distance.
But yeah, it's gonna be it's going to.
The hype is there.
The hype is there, but again, too much of his future is what really hypes this matchup a lot, because we're wondering, well, again, Kyle O'Reilly, he's going to get the win, right? Because Adam Cole's not going to re-sign, but we'll find out shortly about that. Trendsetter, so many other good matches on that card. The other one that intrigues me on this one is Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I think, quite honestly, as much as I had hopes for Raquel Gonzalez, I think this has been one of the worst title reigns for that women's championship. I mean, I get her that she's a strong, tall girl. Really, obviously she the homage to China with her getup and stuff like that. But I mean, it has been one of the just head scratching and just puzzling and just kind of title runs for Raquel. And I think that Dakota Kai is going to come out and she's going to, first of all, heel turn, great job. And I think she's your future NXT Women's Champion after Sunday.
Well, she was always heel. And the scenario of her betraying
double cross,
double crossing Rachel is the focal point. Raquel, sorry, that's how much.
Raquel, don't call me Rachel.
Raquel, don't call me Rachel. But that just showcases the fact that they've really forced this, in my opinion, in terms of what they've done with Raquel, because it doesn't feel natural. Granted, yeah, she's not comfortable talking on the microphone. Then why are you having her talk on the microphone? She's saying and doing things that she's not. It doesn't sound authentic or genuine. And also in the ring, hey, she has some great moments where she shows great athletic ability, but then other moments where you're like, man, you really don't seem like you're having the timing right, or just something seems off. And so with that, I feel it's been somewhat of a failure because Dakota, ever since she turned, I think it was during War Games, she turned on her team. And from that moment, she's shown a different dynamic, a different demeanor about her that has been somewhat
Appealing.
innovative because she's reinvented herself.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that I think people are drawn the most at. When you look at this, it's a mismatch. It's the classic David versus Goliath, or the female version of it, obviously. And it draws intrigue there. But Dakota, I feel, would be a great, not face, but it'd be a great moment for her in the women's division because she would be that antagonist that people would want to go after, and I think that's the best way to go in terms of Raquel being the dominant force and nobody being able to beat her. I think that's kind of it's kind of run flat pretty quickly. So I got Dakota winning that one.
So make sure you check out our social media for the rest of the card, our predictions for NXT TakeOver 36. It'll be Sunday night, so after SummerSlam, make sure you catch NXT TakeOver. Always good shows. Looking forward to what the future of NXT holds. So definitely follow us on all our social media at High Spot Podcast to check out our predictions for the rest of the card for SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver as well. And Trendsetter, tonight is the night. No more waiting around. No more speculation. Either it happens tonight or it doesn't. Chicago's going to riot, but it happens tonight. Rampage, AEW, the first dance. It is going to be, again, make or break, man, because either Chicago riots or Chicago is going to rejoice with CM Punk back in a wrestling ring. He's going to debut in some kind of form. I cannot see them not have, after all the Easter eggs, after all the trolling that you've seen on AEW, I cannot see CM Punk not showing up at the United Center tonight. It's got to happen in some form, and we're definitely going to do something live when that happens. And if it doesn't happen, this is probably one of the worst jobs any promotion could ever do, promoting something, because it's there. It's got to happen, right? It's got to happen.
See, this is where you and I differ. I have a strong feeling it's not going to happen. And you're like, if they fail on this, it's the worst job a promotion's ever done. Jeff, this is the same company. Hey, we've given a lot of credit to AEW. I mean, we really kissed their butts to a certain degree. But again, it's been credited because they put on a lot of entertaining shows for us.
We're not the only ones that line up to kiss their butts, but
of course, yeah, but it's a long line. I know, I get it, Jeff. But here's the difference, though, right? When they promoted a huge major star signing and it ended up being Christian Cage, that was a big, low moment. That was a missed opportunity there. Again, everyone might think that I'm attacking Christian Cage, and I'm not. He is a tremendous, tremendous talent. But when you're promoting him as, an all-time great, granted, he's a Hall of Famer in the tag team capacity. But when you have that much promotion build up for a star and then it's Christian Cage, I'm sorry. He's not on the level of CM Punk or Daniel Bryan. I'm sorry. He's just not. And he never will be. And that's the reality.
How do you get away with, though, not having him there? You said
Because
there's a chance he doesn't.
They throw those Easter eggs to get you intrigued, and then the frustration comes like, they blew it. I'm not going to watch this anymore, and then they do it. That's when they show
up Rampage, and all the crowd was yelling in Houston was CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Can you remember anybody with this hype to come back to return to wrestling? I mean, they wanted Steve Austin to come back, but he stuck to his guns, never came back, right?
Shawn Michaels still to a degree. They would tease it a little bit with him.
You know what? I haven't seen on the level of CM Punk. Now, is it local? Is it Chicago? But everyone's talking about it. Okay, so how would you, if he doesn't come out, how do you justify, how do you tell that crowd in Chicago that are ready to just basically orgasm that night to see their guy, and then you're not going to have
not just in Chicago
there? I mean,
I said that he wasn't going to be there. I didn't say there was going to be hints that he was going to show up, let's say a vignette or something like that.
Oh, so you see
physically being there, I don't see that happening. It would be great. Hey, I'm not denying the fact that would be an amazing moment. People would be creaming in their pants. There's no doubt about that. It'd be a wet dream, right? But I just think the way AEW is building it up, yes, you want intrigue, and that's why people are going to watch Rampage. But if you give them a little bit, just another perfect example, right? We had Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. This is what kind of started everything, where Chris Jericho was going to show up at the Tokyo Dome to face Kenny Omega, right? All you needed was him showing his face on the screen or some image similar of him on the screen.
Well,
that would be enough. I think that would be enough taste where people would be satisfied because, they'd be like, we spent our money, but you know what? They gave us the hint that it's going to happen. And now when? You wanted it to happen in the United Center, but it didn't. But it keeps that intrigue going. If they don't show anything, then it's the worst thing they possibly could have done. But I don't think CM Punk will physically show up, but it will be the hint finally that he will appear, and the whole direction's leading to Chicago All Out.
Whether he does or he doesn't, it's going to be one heck of a show. Now, Rampage drew 740,000 viewers for the first debut episode. Do they hit 1 million on Friday night?
Yeah, just for the anticipation that Punk possibly might show up.
So CM Punk is worth over 260,000 more viewers. That is insane.
Yeah,
if they get 1 million on Friday night. And I'm telling you, like,
you say insane, but it's not far-fetched to believe that's going to happen.
Something is going to happen, though. We both agree that something's happened. I'm saying he'll be in person. You say that you're going to get like a vignette. You're going to get like
an announcement or something like that's going to happen.
Oh, man. What a crazy time, huh? SummerSlam in Vegas.
I can't remember the last time we talked about things like this possibly happening, the scenario of the surprise or what might happen, because, we've been kind of spoiled in a way for that for so long, and it hasn't really happened now. But now we have that feeling back, and that's what you mentioned to me several times. That's what AEW does so well.
That feeling. And I'm glad you segued to that, because we will be doing lives from Vegas, so you'll get our reaction to whether CM Punk shows up or doesn't, or you get a Rampage reaction. But that feeling, I'm telling you, Trendsetter, this week, we talked about last week, it was kind of an average show.
Yeah.
This week, Houston was nuts for AEW. And if you're just going to say, oh, they haven't seen wrestling in a while, WWE was in Houston last time, right?
Yeah,
that's what they have a passion for it. They have a passion for wrestling. But AEW is doing everything that WWE isn't right now. And if Vince McMahon wants to pish posh it and keep sending wrestlers over to AEW as he's joked about,
do it.
Fine, but there's going to be a point where you need to take your competition seriously, because it's not just a feeling anymore. And I don't want to be corny or sound like a mark, but it's really looking like a freaking revolution, because when you have everyone just constantly, it's something that they like. There's bits and pieces that everybody likes and is raving about. The Jericho, the fans yelling Judas. Yes, it's a mark moment. Yes, definitely it's something where everyone's singing his song. That's fine. But it's a feeling. Everybody feels like they're part of the show. That's what's the difference right now. WWE doesn't make you feel like you're part of it. It just in every single match. You had hard-hitting matchup between Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears. You opened it up with you had Young Bucks and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They're giving you these matches full of excitement that you feel like you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to say this on closing. WWE, you better not take this competition. You better take them seriously. That's all I'm going to say, because you might regret it. Maybe not today, definitely not tomorrow, but somewhere down the road, they're going to be a factor. And you better not close your eyes or fall asleep on AEW, because they're providing something that you guys aren't.
And I'll just end up just to add on what you just said too. I think they already have shown WWE that they're a factor, not from what you've seen on Dynamite, but the scenario of the supposed war that was going on between NXT and AEW on Wednesdays. AEW is victorious, which is why we're seeing all these changes happen with NXT. So they've shown their impact, and WWE is reacting now to what AEW is doing. Hasn't happened in a really long time, so I think they're showing it. And Vince would be, and all those other people there would be naive to not be paying attention to what's going on, because if they're not, then history is likely to repeat itself. A long time ago, back in my day, Jeff, where we had scenarios where you had two companies literally going after each other. We're not there yet by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see the ripples in the pond, basically.
Very nice. The ripples, you're seeing them. Nice, big, juicy, round ripples. Anyways, Trendsetter, I am Jeff Martin, the Trendsetter again. We will be in Vegas getting ready. Your trunks are ready. You're packed for the pool party. Matman Podcast at Sapphires in Las Vegas. We will be there, so come say hi. And then, of course, SummerSlam is Saturday night, NXT TakeOver. And then, folks, what should be a madhouse at Madison in the United Center for Chicago. Will CM Punk show up? Friday night SmackDown again. Everything. It's going to be a crazy, crazy summer into fall for HSP Podcast. We thank you for joining us.
Yes, guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode, a continuing episode of the HSP Podcast. He is the Scoundrel. I am the Trendsetter. We are the Jersey Bragging Crew. We will see you guys in Vegas. Enjoy it. To the end of summer is going out with a bang, guys. Download, subscribe. And we do this for one reason and one reason only. We do this for you, the crew.
You extra trunks I could borrow a Trendsetter?
No.